am here at the Spirit of Pain, and I'm Dr. Cavins. I'm the medical director of the Matee Breast Center at Bloomsdale and the chief of surgery at St. Genevieve County Memorial Hospital. And this is our 6th annual Spirit of Pain. And I really want to thank the hospital administration for supporting this effort to honor our breast cancer survivors annually. And if you don't mind, I just want to take a couple minutes to talk about how the breast center has grown. I began the practice here in 2011, and we moved into the breast center at Bloomsdale 5 years ago. And this is a graph that shows you our screening mammography numbers. And when I first came in 2011, we were doing less than 1,000 mammograms a year. We project that this year we will do over 4,000. So I think anybody that increased whatever they were doing by 400% would be grateful, and I'm very grateful for that, because we know that mammograms save lives. How many of you had breast cancer diagnosed by a mammogram? Okay, thank you very much. So we know that early detection saves lives, and at Matee Breast Center we really focus on early detection, but even more than that, we would like to totally prevent cancer altogether. So that's our #1 goal. I just want to tell you that we are a comprehensive breast center. We have mammography, 3D mammography we just added last year. We have ultrasound, MRI, and all the latest state-of-the-art diagnostic imaging studies. We have minimally invasive biopsy that you get on site by me, the breast surgeon, and then if it's anything that needs to be cared for, we can care for that in the community with multidisciplinary care. We also offer breast reconstruction and cosmetic procedures like breast augmentation and breast reduction. So I feel like I'm very honored to be in this small community and have a state-of-the-art comprehensive breast center, which the American College of Surgeons recognize all of our lists that we have everything covered. So thanks for being here tonight and talking about the growth of our breast center. But as I said, we really like to work ourselves out of a job. We would like to prevent breast cancer altogether. And one of the ways that we like to do that is by finding genes that may cause breast cancer or increase our risk, and then to take steps to never get breast cancer. So I'm going to let Mary Crecelius, our women's health nurse practitioner who is also certified genetics nurse, talk about our genetic testing program. I will tell you that we don't, I don't even think Kate has a genetic. So between St. Louis and Memphis, we're the only facility that has a comprehensive breast center and a geneticist on site. So please welcome Mary Crecelius. Thank you.
I'm excited to be here. I'm not going to give you a lot of statistics, so breathe a sigh of relief. Dr. Cavins is right. Our goal is health and prevention. And only 10% of breast cancer is related to a genetic mutation. But it's pretty amazing because if we can find a genetic mutation in the family and identify the people who have the genetic mutation, then we can take strategies to prevent cancer. So it's so exciting. And Dr. Cavins talked about how we've increased mammography, and we are just seeing a huge increase in the number of people that we have come in who meet criteria. So you really have to have red flags, maybe an early cancer, a cancer under age 50, or maybe cancer that goes through generations. So if there's cancer in 3 generations of a family, or rare breast cancer, or rare cancers like male breast cancer, or triple negative breast cancer before the age of 60. So there's certain guidelines, and we don't expect you to know them. And if so, anybody, we can make a picture of your family and do something called risk assessment. If you're like, oh, I've got this cancer in my family, I don't know if I'm a candidate for genetic testing, you can come and see us and we can figure that out for you. But you're going to hear a really amazing woman tonight speak. And so I always try and identify people who I think need to have genetic testing. And when we first started this program, I got a phone call, and the phone call was from this beautiful woman that you'll hear speak tonight, Ali. And I was so impressed because she's like, you know, I think I might need genetic testing. And I was like, we looked at her family history, and she had been somebody that had been seen a while. And indeed, she met the criteria. And so it's so amazing when we can get knowledge out in the community and empower people to keep themselves healthy. So it's great to see everybody here tonight, and I hope you have a good time.
Saints Mary is a really huge part of our team, and at the Breast Center, it takes the whole team. And I just want you to join me in thanking the marketing department at the hospital and our team at the Breast Center, Michelle and Jenny and Jen, for being here and helping us make this a really special night for everyone. So thank you. So we have a really special guest tonight. A lot of times we don't even know what's in our own backyard. You guys all know about our awesome hospital and our comprehensive breast center, but some people don't even know we have that, believe it or not. We get people every day from the surrounding counties and they say, wow, we didn't know you had this hospital here. We didn't know you had this breast center here. So it's really a great thing to see. How many of you are from St. John County? Thanks. St. Francis? Great. Washington County? Yay. St. Louis County? Hey. Cape County? Okay. Any other counties that I haven't mentioned? Perry, thank you very much. Perry, that's okay. Perry County. Awesome. I skipped right over. All right. Well, what you might not know is that we have an internationally recognized artist living right here in St. Genevieve. And she's a very intricate part of our community. I'm in the art field and I got to know Ali Cavanaugh there. But she has become a very good friend of mine and also a patient. And I think that she will be able to talk to you about her journey, which is just amazing. And it's like a tapestry of fabric woven, and just the way everything turned out with Ali when she walked into our door at the breast center, it tells us this is why we do what we do. So Ali Cavanaugh, artist extraordinaire, welcome.
Thank you, Dr. Cavins, for that introduction. Stand up here, listen. Okay, I was born in St. Louis, and I graduated from DeSoto High School. And then I went to art school up in Grand Rapids, Michigan in 91, and also studied in New York City, and then moved to Santa Fe in 2001. My husband and I took our family to Santa Fe in 2001, and then in 2007 we moved to St. Genevieve. And I have a lot of family in St. Genevieve, or not in St. Genevieve, but in the area. So we decided if we moved back to St. Genevieve, that we'd be close to family and all of that. And when we would come back and visit family, we would take trips here. And so we really fell in love with the town. And so we've been here 10 years, and now whenever, and I remember people saying, you know, like, why did you move here? Like, that's what everyone wanted to know. And now that we live here and then someone new moves into town, I'm like, why would you move here? You know? And it's a great place to be. So when we moved here in 2007, I remember this coffee can collection at the grocery store, at the gas station, and this is before there's GoFundMe. It's an old-fashioned GoFundMe, the coffee can collection. And it was a 15-year-old girl, and she had this rare aggressive cancer, and just this beautiful face, and her story just struck me. And I wanted to know more about her, and you know, we're trying to do a little research, find out who she is and who her family is or whatever. And then one day when we were in church, because my daughter went to school with her, my daughter said, there's Millie right there. This is Millie Nager that we're talking about. She said, there's Millie right there. So when I went up for communion and I came back around, I I can't explain how beautiful she was. She had like the bandanas, the earrings. It was like the heavens had parted and this light was coming down on her, illuminating her. And I, at that point, became obsessed with the idea of painting her. I'm a figurative painter. I paint portraits, and I had become obsessed with the idea of painting her. So I kind of sat on it, like, how am I going to approach her? She's in a really bad battle right now with cancer. So I wrote a letter to her mother asking if I could paint her, and then didn't hear anything back. So I thought, well, maybe that didn't go over too well. And then eventually I met the parents, and long story short, I ended up painting 15 paintings of Millie, and called the Millie series. If any of you guys want to see the paintings and hear about the journey, that's on my website. But when I painted those paintings, there was a thought that crossed my mind, because I do believe in the law of attraction. So there was something in me that said, you're opening a door to cancer here. And so I didn't really give it too much time, but that thought did enter my mind. Shortly after the Millie show, this was 2009, June of 2009 when I painted those paintings. After that show, found out that we were pregnant with our third child, and that pregnancy was wonderful. It was a great blessing, but I was in my 9th month of pregnancy. My husband started experiencing some pain, and he went to the doctor, and he had cancer. And so that was, kind of a roller coaster. You can imagine being 9 months pregnant, having a husband with cancer, and then I have this thriving art career, all these demands with that. So it was December of 2009 when he got the cancer diagnosis, and his treatments were starting in January 2010. The baby was due the beginning of January 2010. So, there was a lot there with facing all of that with a newborn. I had, May of 2010, I had a huge show, 15 paintings and 4 huge commission portraits that I had finished in 4 months' time, with a husband going through chemo and a newborn. And so what I'd like to say, and I think a lot of you know this, is the power of prayer. And I just remember so many people praying for us, and there were times when I felt like my feet weren't even touching the ground, like I could feel like being held up. That's so weird. Anyway, we made it through that. Brett made it through his cancer, and he's been 7 years now cancer-free. And the show was a success and all that. And then 2 years later, after that, 2012, we had another baby girl. So that gave us 4 children, 17 years between our oldest and our youngest. And after Saoirse was like, a year and a half old, I thought, I really need to get a breast reduction. I had always had very large breasts, and the breastfed 4 babies, I wasn't in good shape. And so I met with Dr. Cavins, and when I told her my story, she and Mary, called Mary, because there was so much cancer in my family, aunts, uncles, that had cancer. So we did the genetic testing, and Mary is amazing with all the time that she takes to sit down with you. So we took the stuff, and I had the cancer gene. And at the time when I found out that I had the cancer gene, my dad's sister was dying of stage 4 ovarian cancer, and she had had breast cancer when she was my age. So, I knew the reality of cancer, and I'm not even gonna mess around. I'm like, let's go for it. Let's just get it taken care of. And so I did both surgeries, the breast and the full hysterectomy. I did it in our hospital, and it was, it was just an amazing experience for me. It was all positive, and I just can't imagine what you guys have gone through, those of you that have had to do that surgery and then do the chemo. It's big. You're a warrior for making it through that, I can tell you that. I think that we are so blessed in this town and in this county to have this center. It's amazing. And I really thank you guys for putting your heart into it. It really shows. I had both of my surgeries and some other surgeries from Dr. Charlo, and I don't know, I thought I saw him come in. And I had both of my last two babies here. My husband had all of his cancer treatment here. I even got my daughter when they were living in Illinois and she was pregnant. They were pregnant. I got her to move here so she could have a baby in this hospital. And I'm such a believer of our hospital. You feel like you are being taken care of by family from every stage. Through the anesthesia and everything. The nurses are incredible. The doctors are incredible. So, in closing, I just wanted to leave you. I was thinking, just some suggestions for 3 acts of kindness, and a lot of you maybe know this, but some of you don't. Some of you maybe haven't had cancer or haven't dealt with someone very close to you that had cancer, but there are 3 things that kind of stuck out of what you can do if someone gets cancer and you don't really, what do you do? Pray. That's the first thing, because prayer absolutely works. And any time in my life I feel like God isn't paying attention to me or doesn't love me, I think back to that time when I had the newborn, my husband going through chemo, and this huge show that I was having to paint, 10 hours a day of painting on top of all this. I knew that God is real and that He can carry you through things. So pray, and pray, don't just say praying for you, but actually close your eyes and say, God, pour your mercy and your grace into this person's life. Take a moment of silence for them. Be generous to the people that, are going through this. A lot of times, like, I'm a baker and I want to make them like a casserole or cookies or whatever. And sometimes, it's kind of like being in, whenever you get pregnant, when you first get pregnant, you're going through like morning sickness and you can only eat like one kind of cracker for your entire time you're on chemo. It's like you can't, so you don't know. But I think the best thing to do are gift cards to restaurants and also gas cards, in a card, say thinking of you, praying for you, and, money to help, because cancer is so, can really drain your finances. And then the third thing I want to suggest is listen. And just like I told my story and you guys have listened, and each of you have your stories, and you just want to talk it out, and you want someone that just listens, does not give advice. Do not give advice. People know, they're doing their research. They're trying to figure it out. They don't need that. They just need someone to kind of listen to them, walk every little detail through it, because they're trying to get it out of their head and all that. So, and visit, just help them pass the time by visiting with them. And so, anyway, thank you again, Dr. Cavins, for inviting me. And thank you guys for listening to my story. And God bless all of you.
Ali has been just an inspiration to all of us, and I'm sure you really enjoyed her talk, and she'll be here for questions later. So I just want to say, last year we announced 3D mammography, which was also one of the reasons that our breast center screening mammography has really grown. But we also have another announcement coming down the pike for the breast center this year. A dream come true for me. We're going to probably have an on-site radiologist in a few months, so that when you get your screening mammogram, if something's seen, we can just do your diagnostic the same day, because the radiologist will be on site. So how awesome was that? So I think that when we're open to good things happen, and that's what's happened with the breast center. Last year, Dr. Charlo joined us at the breast center, and we have Genesis Med Spa. So along with cosmetic breast surgery, we also offer other cosmetic procedures with Dr. Charlo and his staff, and Dr. Charlo will be here too with Genesis if you have any questions for him. So thanks again for being here, and I would like to have all the breast cancer warriors stand up for us. If you would mind, we'd like to honor you at this time. So now what a crowd. What a good looking crowd. I get choked up, sorry. We're going to give you your gifts now, and I'd like everyone who has worked on the bra hats, very dignified. Please don't tell my mother I was the only bra one. Everyone who has a bra hat, please come up front. Okay, can I have your attention? We're going to go by applause. Number 1. Number 2. Number 3. Number 5. Number 6. Number 7. All right. I think we're tied between number 3 and number 5. Step forward, number 3 and number 5. Number 3 and number 4. All right. Number 3 and number 4. How many prizes do you have? 3. Okay, number 4. Number 3, 4, and 5. I have to go through this again. We have to do first, second, and third. Number 3. Number 4. Number 5. You guys are going to have to judge that. I would say 1, 2, 3, or that's what I need. So number 4. I think she wins. Okay. Second. All right. Thanks, ladies. A lot of